welcome to the WTCR Tuesday thingamabob. This is more Swedish hog tying.
This is not Swedish hog tying, no.
Okay, we're good. So we don't know no more Swedish hog tying or meatballs. I got you.
We are at the.
Me, as always, is the man who flexes so hard he gives vegans the meat sweats, Michael Magus.
Thank you. It's a gift, really, truly.
And I am your actual host, the bad boy of easy listening radio, Byron Dirksen.
Welcome aboard. You realize that we're at a Dutch track. This is Zandvoort, and of course we got Mike Stockmill, who's a Dutch driver. What are the chances that someone can beat him on home soil?
I mean, as long as they say a nice, polite "Das Vidania, comrade" as they go past, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, we'll see. He's currently the
fastest.
fastest.
I don't know any words of Dutch at all. I just realized that. I don't think I speak a single word of Dutch.
I don't think I have any. No, I don't think I have any.
Spätzle? No, that's German.
Yeah. Well, we got Mike Stockmill currently in first place ahead of, actually, very close, though, Christopher Streppen. He's only, he's less than a tenth away from Stockmill, so there might be a threat here on home soil. I think Zerai Garunian's time might be glitched, because there's no way he's 3.1 seconds off of. There we go! That's better.
He's 93 seconds.
Martin, your connection's going crazy. This was recorded by Martin. I would like to blame Martin for any problems with the recording.
I generally blame Martin for any problems, period.
Alright, well, it's going to be Mike Stockmill on the pole position from Christopher Streppen, Zerai Garunian, Simeon Naku. There apparently isn't a fifth place. Paul Riccobeni. There's a bunch of gaps, and then Paul Dark.
Is that like the week that the Sex Pistols were number one on the Billboard chart? This was not a number one.
I don't know. I don't know what this grid looks like. We're just riding in on here. There's apparently at least 18 cars. We don't know all of them.
And Paul, don't call me Drake.
There we go. There's 20 cars, actually.
My God.
All right, so it is Stockmill from Verstreppen, Garunian, Naku, and Lazarenko. That's your top five. Rock with it. Here we go.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh,
There's a lot of movement going on right now.
There's a lot of movement from the camera.
There is. Indeed. Zerai Garunian going side by side with Verstreppen, and it is the Ukrainian. The gun runner comes out on top for the time being. Christoph Verstreppen.
Later on, when troops move in, it will become Ukrainia.
That's true. Christoph Verstreppen back to third place ahead of Simeon Naku and Yevgeny Lazarenko. Very Eastern European heavy top five.
They are perhaps made pact in Warsaw.
It's possible that there may have been some packing going on. And this track is Zandvoort. It's pretty difficult to overtake here, but it's a very challenging track, so I expect to see probably a couple of mistakes at some point there. There's a lot of nasty curbs, as you can see.
I need the race organizers to help me out here. I need the most top-heavy cars you possibly can find. If this isn't them, I need something better.
There is something better, for sure.
Nice. Can we just race, like, what were those, the Ford Aerostar? Were those the vans that would just literally tip over?
Yes.
If you went around a corner more than, like, 20 kilometers an hour, you're just flapjacking that sucker. That would be the best.
Pretty strong outing from the Hyundais so far. They got 5 in the top 10. That's pretty good. Those include Zerai Garunian, Christoph Verstreppen, Paul Riccobeni, Wesley Stokes, and Richard Higgs having a good showing for Division 3. Go Higgs.
Your boy straps off for Christian.
Mm-hmm. And looks like we've lost Alexander Samardzik and John Picha from the race based on those gaps. So
possibly true.
Looks like we've
Toby
dropped
Howard's
down
still going strong, baby.
Yeah, go Toby!
Tobias up in this bitch.
Indeed. He's in a fight there with Wayne Medeiros, the Brazilian. Tobias
Funky Howard. He may or may not have blew himself. If you know that joke, holla at a boy.
I had some kind of MMA, like, interesting trivia note, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is now.
Did it involve people named Tobias?
No.
How many Tobias I would it take to screw in a light bulb? Probably only one. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here.
I imagine one. The gun runner is sticking with Mike Stopmill.
Hell yeah.
So
Gonna run right on the ground.
So they're not letting him have it all his own way here in the in his hometown race. In fact, it looks like what's that back to about 8th place? They're actually all pretty tight with him, all the way back to Paul Dark in the other Lincoln Co.
Have we settled on a ballast weight for Mike Stoffmeal that seems competitive? Like he's carrying 16 and a half ponies or what?
We've gone up to 50 and it's not stopped.
Well, I mean, maybe you should just not have ballast then, because I mean, who the fuck cares at this point?
Put more on him. Put more on him.
Everybody gets 50. Everybody, listen, I think we should have one race. What's the maximum ballast like a car can handle?
I honestly don't even know.
Whatever that is, everybody gets the maximum. Make it just do a 10-minute race. Everybody gets the maximum. Everybody drives exactly the same car, and I think it'll be slow yet hilarious.
I mean,
no penalties.
You have my curiosity. Not gonna lie.
No penalties at all.
So, Esr Wtcr is he's got the pressure on right now here against Mr. Mike Stoffmill in a battle between Lincoln Co. and Hyundai.
The gun rummager.
And in 3rd place there, you can still see Christopher Streppin and Simeon Nakub on the back end there in the Audi. And then further back, it is Yevgeny Lazarenko in the Cupra and Paul Riccobeni in the white Hyundai.
Supra, lights are running something. I don't know all the words.
You got all these colorful Hyundais, and of course, Paul Riccobeni picks the white one, like the all-white one.
Pablito, why you do this to me? Also, where's your boy Friesen? I need, if we're doing colorful shit, where my boy at?
I know. I was very surprised he was not on the track for this. These cars, like, there are liveries here for you, Eric. There are liveries.
Oh no, don't worry. We got liveries plenty in the ACC Mini Cooper race. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And one of them was very colorful. I think actually, I'd have to look it back up. He made a ridiculously colorful one for somebody. I don't think it was Friesen though.
Interesting.
Let me examine the possibilities.
Brings me back to the days of Race 07 where we had an entirely custom livery thing where, you know, you could design all yours. That led to the bubble wrap livery that you may vaguely recall me referring to.
Oh, it is for Friesen. Never mind. I don't know why I doubted myself.
There you go.
But we have, I'm really tempted to share with you some pictures of liveries he's created. And I'm also, like, not going to do that because I wanted you to actually look it up and be surprised.
Simeon Nakub bulldozing his way into 3rd position there against Christopher Streppin. Verstappen looked really good in qualifying, but he's sliding back here in the race. Having some problems. Next up on the Verstappen train is Yevgeny Lazarenko in the Cupra. We'll see if he can make a move. And in behind them is the aforementioned Paul Riccobeni in the white Hyundai. And rounding off the top 10, we've got Wesley Stokes, Paul Dark, Richard Higgs, and Johnny Major. Shout out to Johnny.
Juanito Mayor.
Our fellow wrestling compatriot.
Hell yeah! I say we do a podcast. We need to get your boy Travaslio Ordonez to watch All Out, and then we'll do like a 4-man podcast.
That could be interesting.
I think so.
Indeed, Christopher Streppin trying to get back at Simeon Nakub, but it's not really working out for him. In fact, maybe working against him. By the way, just a quick shout out to 2 guys who are running a little bit above where they standardly are, and that's 11th place Waki Janjua, who is doing quite well, and Bo Stamper, our boy.
Herr Stamper, mach schnell!
Verstappen off the track.
Not doing well.
Yeah.
Not doing well there.
And that's going to let Lazarenko and Riccobeni through. And there's Wesley Stokes, also in the very white Hyundai, and the Lincoln Co. of Paul Dark.
He puts the Haya in Hyundai.
Indeed. Behind them it is Richard Higgs and Johnny Major. See Johnny there in the Audi and the Hyundai of Richard Higgs, and Esr Wtcr still on the tail of Mike Stoffmill, keeping it very honest. I mean, we're halfway through the race. He's only 3/10 behind. This might be the closest we've seen anyone in quite a while, to be honest. And the pressure is on. Hyundai versus Lincoln Co. Got a question for you here, Byron. I'm assuming you don't know what the Lincoln Co. car is.
It's made by Lincoln. I'm not that dumb.
It's not made by Lincoln.
Oh, is it from Nebraska?
No.
Oh, do they make logs as toys?
It is a Chinese car, and it is literally the company's name is Link and Co.
That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Indeed, indeed.
Listen, either Nintendo steps up or a car manufacturer steps up. Somebody going down for that one. Also, I was going to guess Huawei when you said Chinese.
It's also partially owned by the group that owns Link & Co. also owns Volvo, so it's basically a Volvo.
Never mind then. They'll probably get away with it.
But Mr. Zaragarunian still putting the pressure on. Simeon Naku holding off Lazarenko. So 3 Eastern Europeans in a row in 2nd through 4th place. Very nice. Championship leader, by the way, not Mike Stoppmill, stunningly. Pavel Mukonian is missing in action today.
Oh, Powell. Comrade Powell, he's probably putting down some insurrectionists.
Mm-hmm.
Very gently.
We ride on board with Johnny Major, who is all over the back end of Richard Higgs. He would like to get that come-to-you racing Audi a little bit higher up in the field. Sounds
like a delivery company.
I have no idea what they do. All I know is they run a bunch of racing teams. I don't know.
What you see here is they make come-alongs, and everybody needs one of those.
Could be. Could be. See in the background there, Joaquin Janju, and if I'm saying that wrong, by the way, please correct me.
You are.
I imagine I am.
It's just Janjua.
Janjua? Okay.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you, Byron.
His name was Jesse Janjua, which was always fun to, you know me and fucking...
I also like the fact that Paul Riccobeni has invited his buddy to race with us. He's the guy in 13th there. His name is Sammy Samios.
Very nice. Samios.
I think he goes by. I think I don't know if that's how that.
Is that Tombstone?
Tombstone? No. Scott Greenfield is Tombstone.
Oh, okay. My bad. I can't. When people don't use the regular ass names, would you do me a favor?
But Scott Greenfield also in the field there in 15.
Use your real name, but use your whatever screen name as a nickname, and then I'll know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I have problems.
You got Scott Greenfield, a.k.a. Tombstone, is in the race. He's about 2 seconds behind Rochelle Guerin there in 15th place.
Anybody, bonus testing question. Anybody can tell me which book has the computer name Tombstone in it in vis-a-vis an email sequence in a novel? Holla at your boy. You will get 2 internet points.
2 internet points and possibly additional nicknames.
Also, you can qualify if you so choose to take a stab at it there, Chief.
I mean, I'm going to leave that to the other people. I've already got a lot of nicknames. I've got a lot of internet points.
It's true.
I can't be greedy.
Also, you don't know.
I don't, actually.
I knew it.
Paul Riccobeni on the attack here in the M Racing YMR. YMR, by the way, stands for Yvonne Muller Racing. Yvonne Muller is one of the greatest touring car drivers, really, of all time. And it was kind of weird that he owned the team and then didn't hire his nephew as one of the drivers.
I mean, maybe he knew something we didn't.
You know what? Yvonne Erlache, who you may notice has the same first name because he was named after him. Actually, a pretty good driver in his own right, actually.
I was going to say, if it was Kurt Muller, I don't know if that boy can drive.
That's true. And we have a good 3-way battle here for the final podium spot going on between Naku, Lazarenko, and Riccobeni. Christopher Streppin just a little bit behind them. Very disappointing run for Christoph. He started on the front row and is back in his 6th place. It's not a great showing for the Belgian driver here in hostile territory in the Netherlands.
Correct. Well, I mean, if he hadn't hit every single curb for 32 straight quarters, he probably would have been all right.
You're probably correct on that.
But don't sell your boy Pablito Ricardo Bongo short.
Indeed. Some other good battles going on. Paul Dark is all over the back end of Wesley Stokes. And so that is still going on. And a little bit of a battle going on between Samios and Garin, but they're a little bit over a second apart right now. Johnny Major still on the tail of Richard Higgs, but not nearly as much pressure as before.
We seem to have an indivisible car.
Indeed, Simeon Naku dropping, possibly an internet problem. We'll see if he reappears or doesn't reappear, or if he stabilizes. No, okay, he has stabilized, but he is back in 6th place now.
Teleports into the middle of another car.
Teleported backwards there, so Simeon Naku off the podium, just like that.
Podium, just look at him.
As in the meantime, Zerai Garunian continues to pressure Mike Stopmill. They were making their way through traffic there. I suspect perhaps Tobias Howard was the car in question. And there you see the battle for 3rd between Riccobeni and Lazarenko, 2 veterans. And Verstappen and Naku are in the background. And yes, that is indeed the Red Devil Honda of Tobias Howard in the background.
Team Red Devil?
It's an energy drink in Eastern Europe that sponsors the team.
Oh. Does Red Devil Fight Team own copyright?
Could be. Could be.
Daddy likes.
It's a very cool looking car, actually. Hopefully we get a close up on it at some point during the recording here. We are heading into the final lap here. It is still Mike Stopmill, but far from over. 0.3 of a second just back to Zerai Garunian. And then you got that good battle for 3rd going on between Lazarenko, Riccobeni, and Verstappen and Naku. You got a good fight between Stokes and Dark over 7th place. Major is still there with Higgs, more or less. Not much else to talk about behind that, unfortunately. So there is Simeon Naku. Was running in 3rd. Then the Ron Milling cloaking device bit him in the ass, and he's back in 6th. And that is Paul Dark, who is really trying to find a way around Wesley Stokes because, well, it's getting interesting because Richard Higgs in that Hyundai is now right on their tail, and Johnny Major in 10th place there, not too far behind. I do believe this is a top 10 reverse grid, so those low-end top 10 positions are very important for race 2.
I would posit agreement.
There will be 3 races on the calendar for tonight. Paul Riccobeni all over the back end of Yevgeny Lazarenko. Does he find a way through, Byron?
That's a solid, solid maybe.
Solid maybe. The Cupra, of course, is the performance brand of Seat. If anyone's recognizing that as a Seat Cupra, there's your answer.
See.
Under a lot of pressure from Riccobeni, but they are heading more or less into the final stretch here. Not a lot left in this lap. I'm not super familiar with the Zandvoort track, but I do believe we're coming up to this really, really nasty chicane. No, we were actually past the chicane, so it was even later than I thought. Mike Stopmill does indeed win this day from Zerai Garunian. It is going to be Yevgeny Lazarenko in 3rd ahead of Paul Riccobeni, Christopher Streppin, Simeon Naku. Wesley Stokes holds off the train of cars behind him. He'll take 7th ahead of Paul Dark, Richard Higgs, and Johnny Major. Janjua in 11th place ahead of Bo Stamper in 12th. That is the Red Devil Honda there.
Zandvoort.
Yeah. Coming across the line in 13th position is Spencer Samios in the Volkswagen. Ugh. And then it is Rochelle Garin in the Hyundai, followed by the Honda of Scott Greenfield. Not a bad run for Tombstone there. Wayne Medeiros coming home in the Yvon Erlache Cyan Performance Link & Co. car. Looking a little damaged there. I can't quite pick up what's wrong, but the car is moving a little bit awkwardly. And he will still nonetheless bring this home in 16th position.
Hi.
Ahead of Tobias Howard. And it looks like towards the end we lost Jonathan Young, who is down in 18th position in the Alfa Romeo. Bad day for the Alfa Romeos. A DNF for Samardzik and a DNF for Young, by the looks of it. There is the final corner there to the start-finish line. Wayne Medeiros finishing the day for Brazil.
Brazil.
All right. We head on to race 2 with, I do believe we are looking at a reverse grid for the top 10, I believe is the case. And we'll see what happens.
It could be insane in the Wayne.
Looks like top 8. And appears to be Paul Dark on the pole position there in the Link & Co. car. Joined on the front row by Wesley Stokes, and they are off. A lot of stuff going on. A couple shoddy connections going on here by the looks of it. And one of the Audis is taking the lead. It is Simeon Naku to the front in the Audi ahead of Wesley Stokes. And a great start by Christoph Verstappen, who's up to 3rd position there. In the Hyundai, pole sitter Paul Dark has dropped back to 4th place in the blue Lincoln Co. Speaking of Lincoln Co., there is Mike Stoppmill up to 7th place, so he's made up 1 spot so far, and that unfortunate person is Paul Riccobeni, who has dropped back to 8th place.
Correct.
I believe that is Zerai Garani and the Gunrunners having some problems with his internet connection by the looks of it. This turn here is a little bit, the back end is alive, is a thing.
Alive!
As the cars make it through relatively safely. A couple of people dropping back, so I think there might have been some minor carnage, and it looks like we may have lost Janjua, who is back in 20th position, quite a bit behind everybody. I imagine his race may have come to a close prematurely, as well as Scott Greenfield appears like he may also be out of this race in the Honda.
He may or may not have been fitted for Tombstone.
It's possible. It's possible. Paul Riccobongo, 8th place behind Mike Stoppmill. Yevgeny Lazarenko, 5th. He's looking to get past Paul Dark. Not a good start for Paul Dark. That pole position, I thought he really was going to do something with it. He's back down to 4th, and he's under immense pressure from the Cupra of Lazarenko. So it's not looking great for Mr. Paul Dark right now. Christoph Verstappen looking towards the inside of Wesley Stokes here for 2nd place, and I would say he has got it, taking over the top Hyundai spot in this particular race.
Agreed.
Rocking the actual first ever WTCR champion, Gabriele Tarquini's car. So there you go. Your fun fact for the day.
I didn't find it that much fun. Try again.
Yevgeny Lazarenko might be holding his way past Paul Dark here. I mean, would that be more fun to you?
Yeah, that's all right.
Is that the type of salacious detail you're looking for?
I mean, it'd be funnier if you said it with a goofy voice, but not that much funnier.
Are you want to hear about Stefan Marbury and his shaggin' wagon?
That might be fun.
I'm just ripping off an episode of Game of Zones. It's the one where James Dolan has a song, and it's pretty terrible.
I agree.
But it's so very true to everything about the New York Knicks right now. In the meantime, Yevgeny Lazarenko still putting the pressure on Paul Dark. He's got the 2 fastest men probably on the track right behind him. That's the Gunrunner and Mike Stoppmill. They are coming. Paul Riccobeni in 8th. Johnny Major and Richard Higgs rounding off the top 10. It looks like the top 10 have kind of made a bit of a getaway here. There's a gap back to Wayne Medeiros in 11th position, as indeed Yevgeny Lazarenko has got the job done and is up into 4th place ahead of Paul Dark. We might have lost Bo Stamper. He's about 1 minute and 16 seconds behind everybody, I assume.
He's busy slingshotting around the sun, so we can
I assume Bo has joined Janjua and Greenfield in exiting this race. Oh! Zerai Garunian gets a little bit rough with Paul Dark.
There's still nudging going on.
And Mike Stoppmill's like, no, I need you to get out of my way. Oh, you know what it was? Is Habib has been bugging Drake by sliding into his Twitter DMs, and it's hilarious. So the deal is
Drake, the fuckboy?
Yeah, the fuckboy Drake. Every time Drake takes a picture with like an MMA fighter, they lose. So Habib has been like, hey Drake, brother, I need a favor. And Drake's like, what's up? And he's like, I need you to go stand with Dustin Poirier. And Drake just responds in like all caps, I'm not a curse, goddammit.
He is a curse. He is a curse upon mankind.
And he eventually just tells Habib to like stop messaging him. Habib's response is totally on brand. This is #1 bullshit. Alright, at the front, it's Simeon Naku and Christoph Verstappen. They may be better off not fighting each other and just trying to get some distance, while Yevgeny Lazarenko has this group pinned up behind him. Because Lazarenko's got some fast dudes back here. You got the gun runner. You got Wesley Stokes. You got Paul Dark. You got Mike Stoppmill. You got Johnny Major has passed Paul Riccobeni. Paul, what are you doing to me here? What are you doing? Pablo's
busy Ricoing the bongos. He's leaving alone.
He's been overtaken by an academy driver, and he's an academy coach. It's embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing. Kicks trash can.
I enjoy that you took that one off the tee for me. So Mike Stoppmill, 6th place. He's only made up 2 spots, surprisingly enough, having passed Paul Riccobeni and Paul Dark. So from this, I'm led to believe that Stoppmill has a problem with people named Paul. And his next target is Wesley Stokes, so we'll see if he can get that one done. Johnny Major's still in there. Back to Richard Higgs, who's still pretty alive. It's pretty tight there for the top 10. Further back, it's Medeiros, Samardzik, Young, Picha, Garin, Samios are the still running cars. We have lost Tobias Howard. We have lost Joaquin Janjua. We have lost Bo Stamper. We have lost Tombstone Scott Greenfield. It's not good.
No, Lord,
and there is Mike Stoppmill getting just a little physical with Wesley Stokes. Cannot get around at this time. We ride on board with Paul Riccobeni, who's looking to try and get some of his honor back, some of his dignity back, as he's looking to overtake Johnny Major's Audi. Up ahead, it looks like Mike Stoppmill has got the deed done, maybe on Wesley Stokes. Has he got it? No, he has not. Stokes is held on for the time being.
Correct.
Really good run for Wayne Medeiros, by the way. 11th place for the Brazilian. Looking real good.
Has he perhaps shed all of his body hair in a certain procedure?
Could be.
Therefore, to save weight?
I mean, waxing does generally help you with the speed.
Which raises the question, how many is a Brazilian?
I'm going to go with a lot, but I don't know.
Pretty big number.
I don't know if there's a metric on that. Mike Stoppmill has moved in the top 5. He has overtaken Wesley Stokes. Simeon Naku on the tail of Christoph Verstappen here. Can one of these two men end the Mike Stoppmill hype train for the time being? Or is Mike Stoppmill just the John Cena of ESR?
His name is John Cena.
Indeed, you cannot see him until he passes. Paul Riccobeni getting a little out of shape there. He's now under pressure from Richard Higgs. Higgs is going down the inside. Higgs not representing the crap racing anymore. That's a little disappointing to me.
Has he moved over to fuck racing?
He is not. There is unfortunately no fuck racing. There's fuck performance. That works. That kind of is there.
Well, I mean, I suppose if you bust.
Simeon Naku looking to get to the front in the Audi. Richard Higgs putting the pressure on Paul Riccobeni. A lot of stuff going on here in the top 10. The rest of the field is a little bit stagnant, although Alexander Samardzik is closing pretty rapidly there on Lincoln Co. driver Wayne Medeiros. I think 11th may change hands before too long, for that matter. Richard Higgs, Canadian, Division 3, top 10. Interesting.
Sounds like somebody get promoted up to Division 1.
I mean, he's messing around with a bunch of Div 1 drivers right now. Paul Riccobeni is solidly Div 1.
He will surpass Division 1 and go into Division 0.
Simeon Naku, Division 1. Verstappen, I think, is Division 2, but probably on the verge of promotion. Stopmill Lazarenko, Div 1. Stokes is Div 1. Paul Dark is... Actually, I don't know. Johnny Major is Div 2. One of the success stories of the Academy, which is producing quite a few good drivers lately, like Johnny Major, the improvements of Nathan Edward, James Butler, and of course Josiah Jerome, coming out of the Academy of ESR. So if you're looking to become a better driver, look us up on Discord. The link is, I imagine, in the YouTube description.
I would agree.
Since I do not control what will be in this description, I have to go with what is probably the case.
The description reads as follows. Sign up or suck.
Solid. Straight to the point. I like it. Stop mills all over the back end of Yevgeny Lazarenko, who's lost third to Zarai Garunian. So the gun runner up to third. Stop mill is next to take a crack at Yevgeny, who is an absolute bastion of defense. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And, yeah, Samardzik is now within a half second of Wayne Medeiros. So I think 11th place should see a battle pretty soon. Simeon Naku probably getting a little nervous with the gun runner and with Stopmill coming. Kind of would like to take the lead here, and a mistake by Christoph Verstappen. That's why you're Division 2, Christoph. That mistake right there. Simeon Naku to the front. And now the leader of your Zandvoort race number 2 here with a little under 4 minutes to go. Byron, do you think the Moldovan has what it takes to hold on?
I mean, they did all right in World War II, so yes.
I'm not sure that they did.
They did fine. They came up fine.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They actually came through that with more rights than they started with. So that's a solid effort. Mike Stopmill looking, hunting, would like to make the move happen here on Yevgeny Lazarenko. Cupra versus Lincoln Co. 2 brands loaded with bullshit. Paul Riccobeni has gotten... Paul Riccobeni gets his revenge on Johnny Major, who drops to 10th place. Also through goes Richard Higgs. Further back, Samardzik now only within 0.2 of a second. In fact, if the camera could go to that, I think we're about to see an overtake for 11th place. If the camera would go to that, could the camera go to that?
Well, hello!
There it is! Alexander Samardzik is all over the back end of Wayne Medeiros. And the battle for 11th is on, although it looks like for the time being, Brazil has repelled Serbia. I mean, Alex, you and I have to have a conversation here. I feel like your driving was not genocidal enough. I feel like it was not ethnically clean, and that's why you're
really question you quite thoroughly enough.
Quite thoroughly enough on that, and that's why you're still in 12th place. Speaking of it, though, Mike Stopmill is all over the back of Yevgeny Lazarenko, but he has not found a way through yet in that Lincoln Co. Paul Dark on the attack against Wesley Stokes. Of course, these two battled all the way through race 1 over 7th place. It's race 2, and they are now battling over 6th place. So not a lot has changed, if we're being honest. Stopmill really needs to make this move happen because Garunian is starting to pull away just a little bit from Lazarenko. And if Stopmill wants to defend the home turf here, he needs to make a play here pretty soon because he's only got 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. So, it's problematic. And through the nasty little chicane that they got here, and that is still Verstappen trailing Naku, who passed him about 2 minutes ago. And Simeon Naku looking to hang on for... would this be his first ESR victory? So I know he has not actually taken one in the 3D Speed or Zero series, which are his primary bread and butter. I wonder if this will be his first win. Simeon, give us a shout out down below if this is indeed your first win. If you win this, we're rooting for you here, buddy.
I mean, I guess, I suppose.
Come on, Simeon has said a lot of nice things about us. We've been buttered up sufficiently, I think, by Simeon.
True. Go, Simeon.
He doesn't resent the fact that we confuse his country for various other countries, given enough time.
Or make ape jokes because of his first name.
Indeed. He takes it with stride and dignity, and that's all we can ask for. And right now, he's under a lot of pressure from Christopher Streppin, who's looking to get by here. And time is running down because this is the last lap. He's only got a couple of corners to make it happen. And that goes for Mike Stockmill, too, who's still back in 5th place. Has not solved the riddle. Paul Riccobeni is on the attack against Paul Dark, trying to salvage his reputation because this race has been the worst Paul Riccobeni race. Although, spoiler alert, it's going to get worse when we get to the 3D Speed.
Oh my god. I don't think I have enough whiskey for that.
Well, we're not doing that tonight because it's still going to be uploaded.
What?
But we'll get to that.
You slack-ass bastards.
I tried. This one was YouTube's fault.
Listen to me.
Normally, it's entirely my fault. This time it was YouTube.
Start uploading things to Vimeo. They're far more reliable.
Anyways, Mike Stockmill still in 5th place. Simeon Naku still leading the race. We're heading around the final bit of turns here. Simeon Naku is gonna bring it home to Moldova and Audi as he triumphs over Christopher Streppin. 3rd place going to Zarai Garunian. Then it's Yevgeny Lazarenko, a disappointed hometowner. Mike Stockmill in 5th. Then it is Wesley Stokes, Paul Dark, Paul Riccobeni, Richard Higgs, Johnny Major. Pretty solid comeback round after the DNF in race 1 for Alexander Samardzic. There is the Link & Co. of Wayne. I think he's run out of gas. He is trying to wiggle that baby over the line, and can you do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Johnny Young is coming through. Johnny Young is through. Can Spencer Samuels get through? Rochelle Garrett is through. He is dropping. It's a terrible one for Wade Medeiros. He drops from 12th to 15th at the end. Heartbreak for the Brazilian driver.
Second time tonight that your boy Stockmill hasn't had the fastest lap. Also, you're telling me the Moldovan triumphed over the German. It's World War II all over again.
Actually, is there even a German in the field?
I thought Verstappen is not German?
Belgian.
Same thing. Don't tell him I said that.
On pole for race number 2 is Paul race number 3 is Paul Riccobeni. Paul, you need to justify yourself, Paul. In fact, it's an all Paul front row because Paul Dark was up there, but it's not anymore because Mike Stockmill has already hit the front of the pack. Oh, Riccobeni strikes back in corner 1. It is Paul Riccobeni. It is Mike Stockmill. It was Paul Dark, but he's made a mistake there, and the gun runner is up into 3rd position here. Paul Riccobeni losing the lead to Mike Stockmill. God damn it, Paul. I couldn't even enjoy one lap of you leading the race.
Whoa, you need to back off, sir. Paul means well, and he's a nice guy.
I'm a little frustrated with Paul right now. I'm a little frustrated with Paul right now.
What?
I'm a little frustrated with Paul right now. It's quite obvious. Simeon Naku threading through traffic there. He's up into 6th position. Good work by the Moldovan race 2 winner. Looking to see if anyone's had a fantastic start. Alexander Samardzic. Quick shout out to him. He's up to 9th place, having a good run. In fact, that's him there in the background in the Alfa Romeo. As Wesley Stokes is battling with Christopher Streppin. Oh, so many blisters on my feet. It's not nice. It's not nice. New shoes suck, guys.
I mean, they can't. You tried wearing socks?
Yes, sir. Very thick ones, actually.
Crazed street ape.
I mean, I'm more of a forest ape, but you know,
I know you're new to shoes in general, but come on.
Wesley Stokes dropping back to 10th position there. Paul Riccobeni is holding second against the gunrunner, Zarai. And Mike Stoffmill in the lead. Paul Dark down to 4th place. Lazarenko, Naku, Verstreppen, Samardzik, Major, and Stokes is your top 10. Actually, yeah, now that you brought it up, we are distinctly lacking in German drivers, which is a bit weird. You'd think they would be pretty common.
Yeah.
The Gunrunner up into 2nd place, so it's going to be Gunrunner versus Stoffmill. Can the Gunrunner get the job done?
9?
I mean, I'm never a man to bet tremendously against Mr. Mike Stoffmill. That is a thing right there.
He already has a 14-second lead.
It's 1.5 seconds.
I moved the decimal wrong. My bad.
It's not quite that much.
My bad, dog.
If it was 14 seconds, I would agree with you that there is 0% chance of Zuccaroni getting up there with him. But he is within eye shot there, sir.
Shot through the eye.
Lazarenko has gotten past Paul Dark, and the next one up to try his luck will be Race 2 winner Simeon Naku in the Audi. Looking to promote himself there. Verstreppen 7th. Samardzik having a really good race there up in 8th place. Good work by the Serb. Johnny Major and Wesley Stokes rounding off the top 10.
You've been served.
For America.
Any truth to the rumor that your boy's a card-carrying member of the Black Hand itself?
I will neither confirm nor deny this.
Probably wise.
We do not like to comment on our membership.
You might get archduked.
Might. We don't like archdukes.
Just regular ones.
It's definitely a thing. I mean, the arch ones won't start a war. Naku is all over the backside of Paul Dark, looking to get through there, and right on the tail of that is Christoph Verstreppen. So we know Verstreppen and Naku have got some moxie. They were the 2 top cars in Race 2, and that's why they started back in 7th and 8th position, respectively. Naku has moved up 2 spots. Verstreppen has stayed in 7th, so less than ideal for him. Just kind of looking to see if anyone else is maybe on a little bit of a charge. And I must say, Bo Stamper, after really solid qualifying, is letting me down just a little bit here in the race. I was expecting a little bit more from him. But hopefully he will use that as motivation and, come up with a great result here that's going to make him go, "Shut up, Mike. You don't know me." Verstreppen up the inside of Simeon Naku. He takes over 6th position for the Belgian driver on the hostile soil here of the Netherlands.
What kind of tiles?
I have no idea where you're going with that.
I don't know, you said something about tiles.
Hostile.
Oh, those must be pretty big tiles.
Johnny Major under pressure here from Wesley Stokes, but he will hold it off now. It's a battle of New York versus the Midwest. I mean, one would think the New Yorkers got this.
Baseball being very, very good to me.
It has.
The New York Yankees baseball.
Further back, there's a battle going on between Spencer Samios and Rochelle Guerin. So hopefully we get a quick look at that at some point, just to give everyone their moment in the sun. Samardzik and Major are in a struggle over 8th position there. Someone is dropping back. I believe that is John Picha. Unfortunately slipping back in the order to 17th position. Yevgeny is looking for that podium. I think Yevgeny has been kind of robbed of some podiums here. He's been very, very close a couple of times. And now he's on the tail of Pablo Riccobeni. Can he? Do you think my boy Paul can actually hold it this time?
I mean, I don't have any reason to believe he can't.
And, well, we were a little bit interested to see what the gun runner could do against Stoffmill, and the gap is out to over 3 seconds, so, yeah, there is that.
In a 15-minute race, do you think he can get a 15-second lead?
Ooh, that's a tough ask. I think he'll get over 10, but 15 is, I think, a bit much.
Especially because he's got 1,500 pounds of ballast.
Only 50 kilos.
That's roughly 1,500 pounds.
Wesley Stokes looking to get the move done here on Johnny Major. It's not happening quite yet. There is the Cupra of Lazarenko still on the attack against Riccobeni.
He's a Cupra.
Looking to make this a double Ukrainian podium, which I'm not really sure if that happens in motorsport. A tremendous amount, to be honest.
I don't know. How many Ukrainian drivers are there? Quick, tell me.
I could not. I can't name one.
Tell me now.
I cannot name one. Yeah, little headlight action there. Trying to throw up the distraction beacon there for the Hyundai driver.
You know, in certain circles, you go to jail for that kind of thing.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's not a racing circle. Oh, Paul! No, Paul! No!
Snowball. What?
Lazarenko onto the podium as Paul Riccobeni put a wheel wrong there and had some problems.
Sounds like Getty's putting them all wrong, but it's still staying ahead. I don't know.
No, that's just that turn, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So,
a lot of squealing going on.
Indeed, Yevgeny Lazarenko to third, ahead of Paul Riccobeni. Paul Dark still running in fifth place. Good run from Paul Dark.
Them tires sound like last time I went after the pigs with the weed whacker.
Christoph Verstappen, Simeon Naku kind of still in this lead group. Alexander Samardzic kind of being ethnically isolated, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate that.
Well, I mean, there's a reason for that. It's because you people are shifty.
Is it because we don't play nice with others?
One would say no.
And in the meantime, the move is coming, I think, on Paul Dark here from Christoph Verstappen. Dark still holds on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to work, though. Verstappen is through, and it's going to be Naku looking to get past Dark as well. Bit of a mistake there from Dark. A little hip check from Simeon Naku. Little body language there. A little squeeze from Dark, and Naku is through. So Simeon Naku to 6th, and Christoph Verstappen to 5th. Paul Dark slips to 7th.
International report card comes home from school. Serbia has problem playing with other people, but is very good at creative problem solving.
Creative, yes. We are exceptionally good at that. Richard Higgs looking to get up into the top 10 here. He's had a couple of top 10s already today, and he's looking to get another one here against Wesley Stokes. In the background there, you can see Wayne Medeiros and the Alfa Romeo of Johnny Young. Spencer Samios was just in the shot at the end there in his Volkswagen, which I have to gag every time I think of a Volkswagen. It's always fun. Simeon Naku looking to take round 3 from Christoph Verstappen. Round 1 went to him, and it got him a win in race 2. And then, most recently in this race, it was Verstappen who got the better of Naku. Naku looking for the rubber match here, much like Randy Couture versus Vitor Belfort.
Oh, snap. Now, listen. That win was a fluke and a sham, and you know it.
I saw nothing.
Yeah, neither did anyone else.
It looked clean to me.
Clean tape slice. Fucking bullshit. Fucking Roy D. Magoo puts a razor blade on his wrist and gets a freak win.
Hey, he's a former UFC champion.
Oh, yeah. So's Josh Barnett.
That's true.
Listen, I love Josh Barnett up to a point, and that point was like a couple of years ago. But, yeah, come on, son.
I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by his blood sport idea with the whole the
what?
Kind of emphasizing like catch wrestling, shoot wrestling, kind of in a mix.
Okay,
it's kind of interesting.
Kumate.
It's not a kumate, but it is an interesting take on wrestling that could be very fun. All I'm interested
is kumate.
That's true. Wesley Stokes has gotten the better of... oh no, it's Johnny Major is dropping like a stone. Something has happened to Johnny Major's Audi. No. He has dropped from 9th place down to 13th position. That's less than ideal. And that has promoted Richard Higgs into the top 10 as he chases Mr. Wesley Stokes here. He's in 9th. And Wayne Medeiros is just outside the top 10. So there is hope for the Brazilian yet. After the heartbreak of race 2 that was running out of gasoline right before the start-finish line. Paul Riccobeni.
You call him the Heartbreak Kid?
I mean, right now it would be an apt way of saying it. That's for fucking sure. Indeed. Johnny Major on the tail of the Alfa Romeo of Jonathan Young, and he will get the job done against the Alfa Romeo. Which
that is a sexy-looking car. That Alfa Romeo knows what it's doing in the looks department.
I think would it be Jeremy Clarkson's favorite?
Yes, that was one of my favorite from Top Gear. I almost said Top Gun. Is when they did the Quattroporte versus the other two and the abandoned, like, industrial, or not in the abandoned financial district or something or other.
Yes, I do recall this.
I don't remember what the other one was, but it was just like, this looks like a dead body that's been underwater for a week. And they go to the Quattroporte, it's like, and this looks like the hitman they put in there.
My personal favorite is still always going to be the street circuit of Gibraltar. Wesley Stokes giving a little squeeze to Richard Higgs. So it was the Audi versus the Ferrari versus the McLaren, and they created kind of like a racetrack through a little section of Spanish City, and it was pretty hilarious because they showed the laps, and then they went off, and then they started arguing about who went fastest. It's like the Ferrari was the fastest, but then the rain came out, and the Audi was the fastest. Oh. And they're like, and then they just give up. It's like, so what we're saying is they were all the fastest at one point.
Correct.
Even the Audi in the hands of James May.
Also, the road trip to Albania.
That was
the road trip in Albania. Yeah, and like that, I don't remember that. There's one company that refused to give them a test car, so they just substituted in like the shittiest thing they could find and just referred to it as that thing for the whole time. And then they ditched James May when they did the fake bank robbery.
I think that's also where they started the obsession with James May's want to find a Dacia.
The Dacia Sandero.
Dacia Sandero.
Send a meme. I remember sending a meme like that to my dad via text message, and he responded like, "What's a Dacia Sandero?" I think, never mind, Dad. My dad, the mechanic, never heard of that one. So, I mean, you wouldn't have.
Yevgeny Lazarenko. Zarai Garunian's got problems. He's dropping back. He's let Lazarenko through. He's let Riccobeni through. He's let Verstappen through. He is still moving pretty slowly. Simeon Naku is next on the list to possibly get a free spot.
The gun runner has turned into the gun rummager.
A little bit, and Christoph Verstappen is like, I smell podium, and he's on the chart.
Looks like Stoffmill's going to get halfway towards a fucking 15-second lead.
Yeah, well, he's not even making my goal. I thought he would get to 10, but he's only at 8. He's only at 8, and he is on the last lap. I mean, it probably hit, and keep in mind that helps that the fact that the guy who was closest to him, Zarai Garunian, appears to have developed a mechanical problem.
Yeah. Pablito's hanging in there, doing well.
Riccobeni in third. Inherited because of Garunian's problems, but you know what? You take him how you can get him. I don't know why we're looking at Jonathan Young.
Because he is young and exciting.
That was an interesting line.
Look at that car. Come on. Look at Jonathan Young. Look at that car.
That car, yeah. He is missing a little bit of his back end by the looks of it, though. So, a bit of damage to the Alfa Romeo.
Someone got a piece of that ass.
Yep. Pretty good battle going behind them. Spencer Samios is just ahead of both Johnny Major and Rochelle Guerin, so that might come down to the line. Hopefully we see a little bit of that battle. Paul Riccobeni seems to have repulsed Christoph Verstappen for the time being, and here they come across the line. Stop Mills, your winner from Yevgeny Lazarenko, from Paul Riccobeni with a somewhat redemption story arc. Zarai Garunian, despite his problems, finishes fifth behind Verstappen, and then it is Simeon Naku, Paul Dark, Alexander Samardzik, Richard Higgs, Wesley Stokes, Wayne Medeiros didn't run out of gas this time. That's a win. Jonathan Young comes across in 12th place ahead of Spencer Samios, and then it's Johnny Major, not a very good round there, and Rochelle Guerin. Here is
South
Bo
Africa.
Stamper from Come To You Audi Sport, Team Audi Sport. He is coming towards the line. Also on track are Tobias Howard and John Peach. Not a good day for Honda. I just kind of realized that. 17th and 18th for the Hondas.
No DNFs in this one as of yet.
Yeah, looks like everyone may make it to the line. Of course, mind you, we are missing 2 cars that had previously taken part.
I suppose so. Hey,
there's John. Oh, no, John! John, you're ruining it. You're ruining it, John. Here's the Red Devil. Here is the Red Devil car I mentioned earlier, driven by Tobias Howard.
That's pretty good.
Pretty nice. That was the one I was going to drive before I realized that soccer was going to hardcore conflict with this series.
Well, I mean, there's only one solution. Play soccer faster.
I mean, this is an option. This is an option. Speed up time.
Sudden death. All games.
Tobias Howard. No, okay. Johnny the Peach is getting it across the line. Yay! Here comes Johnny the Peach in the all-inkle Munich Motorsports car. By the way, one of the most fascinating people in all of professional racing is Rene Munich, the owner of this team. He's like just a rich fucker who races cars and runs cars for other people, and that's kind of really all there is to it.
I was going to say, does he have chicken legs? Is that what they call them, all ankles?
I don't know where the all-inkle comes from. It's his company name. It's allinkle.com.
Fair enough. Oh, we did have DNFs, or did they just...
no, those were the 2 that did not start the race.
Well, I mean, the DNF doesn't even count then.
Indeed. Everyone got across the line. So, some pretty solid racing here. And Mike Stoffmill took a pair of wins on home soil. Had a 5th place in race 2, which was a little less than ideal. But redemption here for him. Yevgeny Lazarenko, a solid round. Paul Riccobeni, Verstappen had a good round. I think Simeon Naku might have picked up his first career ESR win. Let us know if that is the case, Simeon. And do you have any closing thoughts for the WTCR race here, Byron?
Why do hot dogs come in packages of 8, but the buns come as many as you want to buy?
Because they want you to buy multiple packages.
I can only eat so many hot dogs at once.
Sure.
I mean, over time, infinite amount.